The reason why you pick answer A and answer B for question number one is because, sorry, the computer won't let you do that. Hello, everyone. I'm Nurse Falade, and I just want to share with you some tips on how to pass your nursing council CBT exam. Yes, picking answer A, B, C, D can be taxing and confusing. Yes, I so much understand that because you're looking at answer A and answer B. They are similar. Just answer D is quite odd. Then answer C as well, looks relevant. So let me just say similar with answer A and answer B. And you have to pick just one. You can't pick two. That's one thing. So you are picking just one answer. That's the most appropriate answer to this question that you have been asked. So if you don't know what you are doing, then you will pick the wrong thing. And once you pick the wrong thing, then you missed a point already. And once you miss a point, that really just note the numbers of points you've missed and what you have at the end of it. So passing an MCQ has to do with you studying extensively. Yeah, you just have to study extensively. You don't depend on the definition alone. You could just the thing with written exams, you could just cram a definition and point down when you see this definition. But then with CBT, MCQ, you are seeing this definition in another form. The examiners are not going to set this question based on the definition you know. It's just an author who had defined this, whatever you are defining. So different author has different school of thought, different people, as define this particular terms you are writing that. So it is your ability to comprehend, your ability to understand what this means. So even if another author is putting it in this in another context, then okay, this thing still means the same thing. So but for writing, you might not necessarily need to cram all of it. You might not necessarily need to do an extensive reading to see. But this is CBT. You need an extensive reading, a broad one, to pass your nursing council exam. Trust me. And yes, many people believe it is luck. I don't think that luck of a thing worked out for me. Because practicing past questions, and I just want to, okay, let me play luck, just guess. What I don't know, I don't know. That's one thing that I've noticed. What I don't know, I don't know. I don't know. There's some people be like, I might not know it, but when I see the questions, I can just guess. I don't know how good you are at guessing. As I've seen people who actually, would guess and would get it, but your guess is not always right. That's one thing you should know. Your guess is not always right. What is right is the right answer. The right answer is just the only right thing here. So not your guess, as many would say, I would guess and pass the exam. So please don't rely on guessing. Instead, know the right answer. Know what the answer is, and just when you are seeing the question, you are just speaking. It will even save you time. But when you are guessing, you are there. You say, it can be A. No, it will be B. It's likely C. you are wasting time on your guess. Just assume you guessing and someone who now who has done an extensive reading and already have the answer. So that person would pick in less than 2 seconds. But you are guessing for a minute now. You are not even sure if your guess is right. So I think the one advice or one thing I would say is that read extensively. Just try and read broadly. It's going to help you. And another important thing, please, don't get stuck with a question. Don't get stuck with the question. Some of us we are just too conscious of the fact that if I miss an answer now, that means I missed the point. Yes. Some people can just be too conscious of that and they don't want to miss a point. They don't want to. So they are just stuck on that particular questions, even when they know they really don't have an idea of what the question is, but they just want to spend time on it thinking, oh, I don't want to miss a point, and then your time is reading, your time is going up. So why not just leave that, move to the ones you know, and come back to that you shouldn't know. That would help. Yes, answering the question you know first, so you don't get stuck up, and then going back to the ones you don't know. With you're sure going to have you're sure going to have SS, should I call it SS time now? You're sure going to have a time remaining. So that time that is remaining, you go back to those questions you don't know, and then you can give it much thought before you pick or before you yes. So don't get stuck up with questions you don't know. Please proceed. And when you are confused with a question or with an answer, you are confused, and then you've picked this answer and Just something is telling you inside of you that this is wrong. Please just silence that voice and move to the next question. Because it happened that you might be stuck with the thought of the last answer you picked was wrong. Then this thought just keep coming up. Do you know that number five answer is wrong? You are not so sure of the answer, but you are just pick, okay, this is the most relevant answer, the most relevant option, and you are just pick. But then there is this mind, there's this thing in you telling you that's wrong, that's wrong. You won't move on if you engage with that mindset, if you engage with that thought, you definitely won't move on. But the best thing is just you've picked it at that point. That's what sounded, sounded reasonable, sounded excellent to you. You've picked that answer, fine. Then move on to the next one. When you are done, then you could go back to it and start pondering on it. And one thing I've noticed with me picking an answer that I thought, okay, this is picking an option I thought is the right answer, and then going back to change it. I've noticed that I'm picking the wrong thing the second time. My first attempt is always the good one. Yeah. My first attempt is always the good one because when my nursing council, I saw a question and then there was this two similar option. So I wasn't sure. Then I picked one of them. And then after I was done with answering the question, then I had to go back to review what I had picked. Then I was just there contemplating, is it A or B? Hey, this thing is B. And then this thing is A. I was sure it was A, but then B was looking, similar to A. And then I was, hey, let me just pick B. This is A. I'd already picked A, and that was just the correct thing. Then I just had to change my mind again. Oh, let me pick B, Joe. If it were to be A, I would be contemplating if I was right or not. So I picked B, only for me to get back to the hostel to, look up to these questions and I see, wow, so it was A. Why did I change it? I've missed the point. I just had to encourage myself and moved on. Yes, I think my first attempt is always the better. I don't know which one works for you. Whatever I pick, I was able to, decide whatever I was able to agree on answering the question. Okay, it is A, it is B. Trust me, whatever I picked at that time is just the right answer. But me going back to change it, I know I'm going to just miss that very point. So know what works for you, please. Don't get stuck or be time conscious because many people would not finish till their system would shut off. Many would not finish, and some people would actually, make use of their time judiciously and do well. So whichever way, I would just encourage you to read, please. Read well, study well, and then just pick well. There's a thing like that. Pick well, pick well, pick well, pick well in the front of your system. Just become, 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 become. I think there's a thing calmness will do for you. Become, pick the right answer, and then you'll be fine. Then remember to submit. Remember to submit. Follow instructions. Instructions are very, very important. They will save you from failure. Follow instructions and submit. Be of good faith whenever you're done with the exam. Just be of good faith, move on and read the next paper, not get to the hostel and you're stuck up with the ones you need. And I think one thing would help some people is not looking up to the questions and answer after the exams. Like paper one, I think it's paper one and paper two before your practical. Maybe paper one, you have done some things and then you're not so sure about these things. Yes, some questions, some answers you picked, you're not so sure about this. Because when you get to do say, if you are the type that cannot move on time, please don't even bother. Don't bother to check up the answers. Because some people they already, stored the questions in their head to go and look it up in the hostels if they are right or wrong. And then getting to the hostels, the 10 questions you stored in your head, you are checking it out, and then you notice the first question you picked the wrong answer, second, third, till the 10th questions that you stored in your head to look out for. You know that these 10 questions you definitely got them wrong. It could affect your preparation for the next paper. There's some like that just stop. They already assumed they failed. Yes, they already see themselves as a failure because 10 questions of is it 100 questions now? 10 questions, and then you're not even sure of the other ones you've chosen. So you're just looking at it, hey, I already missed 10 questions. So how did I want to do it? You're already seeing yourself as a failure. And you are forgetting that you have another paper tomorrow and you could do worse. So it's better if you know you cannot move on, then don't bother checking. After paper one and two, store those questions, write them down, then you begin to check so that you don't affect the other paper. I hope this helps someone. I wish you success and good luck in your exams. You can do it. You are bigger than nursing council. Yes. See you, fellow nurses.